Hello and welcome back to the iFox Juice podcast. I'm your host Juice, and I'm here with my co-host, the standing hammer fist to my Elias Theodoro, Reen. What's going on, Reen?
What's up, man? You don't appreciate my hammer fist?
No, I appreciate your hammer fist. I don't appreciate Elias's. I'm sure your hammer fist is a lot more deadly and impactful.
Oh my god, that's so awful, man.
You know, we have to review the card, and usually I'd be like, oh, we'll get into it in a second, but that was so bad, I figured we can just shit on it for a quick minute and be done with it.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. So, I didn't get to watch it that night because I had issues with the app. I don't know who else had issues with the app that night, but I missed it. I should have kept on missing it because when I watched it this morning, I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? I literally covered my mouth. And I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck is this?
It was literally cringe-inducing for you?
Yes, it was. I just shook my head because I rewatched the Cub Swanson fight, and then I had to watch that.
Were you? I know clearly there's a lot to critique about Elias, but I don't know if I'm more. It's definitely embarrassing for Elias, but I was just kept getting mad at Brunson the whole time because I'm like, dude, if there was ever a time to sprint at an opponent and throw an overhand right, it's now, and he would not do it.
Oh, yeah. Right? Yeah, I was kind of mad that he couldn't even get him down or even keep him down. When he did, especially with that slam in the third round, that was like the only highlight of the entire fight, I feel. That was it.
You know what? It's so weird. Okay, for some reason, I kind of get, when he fought Israel, you know, he kept charging in, going fully for the takedown. He was aware he couldn't strike with him. And he didn't even try. So, I don't even really fault him for that. But I still remember even, the Anderson Silva fight, you know, he wouldn't do almost anything with him. And, it wouldn't hurt to try. But then he charges that, Robert Whittaker, who's probably the worst person you want to do that to. Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't get it either, but I picked Brunson to win, but the way he won, I'm like, dude, you just take the L. Just still take the L, man. Please, can you go back and watch it and slap yourself in the face?
Many people, us included, were saying that this could be a terrible fight, and sure enough, it was. But I picked Brunson too because I'm like, all right, he's crazy and dumb enough to do something wild, and that's probably all it takes. And he couldn't even do that. Nah. I guess the takedown counts for something, but it really was just for style points. It really wasn't necessary.
No, it did nothing. Elias he was just running the entire night. He's running around the cage. I didn't understand that. That weak ass knee he threw in the first round too.
You mentioned that earlier off air, and I think maybe I just blocked it out of my memory because I can't remember it.
It was the first round. It was the first few minutes. It was so awful.
I remember him throwing a lot of body kicks. I know he got him with some decent body kicks in the first, but I really don't remember much other than that and the slam.
I was like, oh my god, that's such a weak ass girly knee. But I'm like, dude, I've seen girls knee better than that. Throw knees better than that. So I didn't know what that was.
And this is Reen saying it, folks, not me. And you can't critique me on this one.
And it's the spinning kicks that didn't do shit. It was just spinning shit. They didn't connect. They did nothing. Yeah, he had some, kicks there, body kicks and whatnot, but the spinning stuff, I'm like, what are you doing? Was it supposed to be a dance? Or were you supposed to dance in there? What are you doing?
Here's the thing. One last thing about Elias is clearly he's not very inviting of danger. I don't have any problems with people fighting safe. If that's what you do, fucking go ahead. Hey, Mayweather made millions of dollars with it. But you think he'd probably want to add some takedowns? Like, okay, well, he could, probably take some people down and do something there. You're not really going to take damage if you're good at taking people down, but it's just like, no, just stay at a distance and circle around and throw random spinning kicks that are never going to connect in a million years.
And then what the little this okay, what did he do? He stuck his like leg out. Did you see that? He like stuck his leg out like, and then he like threw this like awkward punch.
I don't think
He
I
he stuck
remember
his
that.
leg out and like he had his foot on Brunson's knee or something. Like it was weird.
Oh, okay, I remember something vaguely like that. Yeah, it was. Yeah, from what I remember, it seemed just pointless.
Oh my god! I'm like, what are you doing? Like you don't want to get hit. You're in a fight. You signed up to fight.
Yeah,
You're
and
getting booed by your like people. Like they're not down for this shit.
I know you're not one of them, but I know a lot of ladies like Theodore because he is, he's a pretty dude, and my girlfriend's one of them, and it was just funny seeing this fight with her the whole time. I just kind of kept, you know, looking at her in the corner of my eyes, kind of like, yeah, this is your boy, and there we go.
Yeah, a lot of the ladies like him, especially the ladies on Twitter. But I don't doesn't do it for me, man. Especially if you can't fight. So
Yeah, tough sell, tough sell. But speaking of ladies, the first fights that we done some picks on pick on last week was Macy Kiyosan and Sarah Morris. Man, Kiyosan had some trouble in the first round, but she came back and she whooped ass, man. What did you think?
that was amazing. Like props to Sarah for taking her down. I mean, great game plan. I mean, it didn't work out for her in the end, but wow, took her down. She got beat up though. Her corner, Macy's corner, was just screaming at her to calm down. That was wild for me.
I don't, man. I don't. If you pay that chick $1 million, I don't think she'll calm down. Her, man, like her pacing back and forth, like when Bruce Buffer's announcing her name and shit, like
Oh
that just
God,
scares me, man.
right? Like she was just ready to go and just staring her down. And yeah, that's all I can remember is her corner just screaming at her, like, just calm down, like, calm down, pass, get that leg out of there, like, calm yourself down. Yeah, calm yourself down, dude. Don't gas yourself out trying to beat the shit out of this girl.
She's from a good gym too. I can't remember all the fighters that are from there. But there's like a good like 6, 7 UFC fighters in that gym. Fortis MMA, I believe it's called. Yeah, I was like, she relocated to Texas to Dallas. I was like, really? Is there any camps down there? And then I looked at it, and there's quite a few decent fighters there. I think she's one of the few women in the gym, but she seems to have good coaching. And just the thing with her is like, I don't know. It was hard to kind of get. It's still kind of hard to get a read on her. I actually wanted to write an article about her, but it's like it's so hard to get a read because like she's so powerful, and I
Mm-hmm.
sometimes wonder if that's all there is to her. She's so big and strong. It's like, well, I don't know if there's more to it. Cause clearly she hits hard too, but I don't know. I don't know how far it'll take her. But at the same time, she's at bantamweight, and then sometimes I'm like, she should go back to featherweight because she has a tough weight cut and there's really nobody there, and I don't know. I'm just perplexed by her.
Yeah, well, Sarah did it again when the second round took her down again. So maybe that's something she needs to work on instead of running into her opponent, charging her and getting taken down, because it was tough for her on the ground, even though she won, with the ground and pound and whatnot. But I mean, Sarah still gave her trouble.
Sarah's I think an underrated wrestler. I mean, I think people know that she's way more of a ground girl than a striker,
Hmm.
but she manages to take some really good people down. Like she's good. She was no slouch on the ground, but yeah, I mean, she was having fits there for a second. And I wonder if it was just like a hiccup, like, oh, she just got caught by surprise, or if this is going to be a thing going forward. And if that's the case, like, well, like I know that she's only had a few fights, but I wonder, like, because she hasn't fought in a long time, like Ketlin Vieira. I don't even know if anybody listening to this remembers her. She fought last year and she was basically the top contender. Like I want to know how she'd do against her, because to me, Ketlin was that girl last year. She was big and strong, and but Kit Macy's way bigger than even her. Like I want to know what happened. Like I don't know. And then I guess that you could throw in, since it was Caitlin's last win, like Kat Zingano. How would she deal with her? Because Kat does some really dumb stuff on the ground sometimes, but she's still a really good wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think she'll toe her in the eye. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, she's 3-0 in the UFC, and that performance, she went from rank number 14 up to 10 now. So she's cracked the top 10. So yeah, I think it's gonna get really harder for her if she doesn't like step up.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if these coaches are as good as they seem, then hopefully she works on other aspects of her game. But just having her assets seems like it can work out well for her. Moving on though, Cub Swanson versus Shane Burgos, another fight we covered.
I want to cry, man.
He did good. He did good.
Yeah.
There was nothing. Here's the kind of the good and the sad part about it. I saw that fight and I was like, you know what? I don't know if Swanson could have done any more, which is good in the way like at least you left it all out there, but also like how much more do you have left?
Yeah. And Shane is just an animal, man. Like, Cub was swinging. He was using his hands at first, and he's like, oh shit, he keeps moving forward. So, all right, I'm going to start, kicking him. Those left high kicks, they were going through on some of them, and Shane just kept moving forward, showed no respect. And he's just wild, man. He's just an animal. So fucking strong, dude.
It's just one of those things too that I think I don't know if everyone thinks like this, but I kept on having a feeling with Cub, like, oh, he's gonna pull it off again. He's gonna pull it off because I think everyone remembers, at least I do, with the Do Ho Choi fight. Because I mean, not only was that fight awesome, but everyone thought that he was gonna get smoked in that fight because he was kind of on a skid at that time, and he ends up beating Choi, and then I think he beat Lobov. He went on a good little run, like, oh shit, Swanson may have it again, and I think he left his soul in that Choi fight. I don't think he had much left after that.
Yeah, it's hard, man. Tough competition after that, and then yeah, with Shane too. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to be next for him. Hopefully, time off and then figure out, regroup what's next.
Yeah, I mean, I hope he does take some time off, and I hope they give him a big fight. I don't know what would be a big fight at this point. I don't want to say someone like Yair, just in terms of a style matchup, but it's also very possible a dude like Yair could put his lights out, and we don't want to see a situation. At least I don't want to see a situation like that. Like when he fought Moicano, I saw that fight live here at a Staples Center. Man, that place erupted. That place, I swear to God, it was louder for his entrance and his announcement than it was even for DJ, Cejudo, Dillashaw, Garbrandt. It seemed like he was the main event when he came out.
Yeah, man. So yeah, it was a good fight though. Good for Shane. I got that one wrong.
Yeah, he's got a lot of fans down here, but I don't know if I don't know if it was on Instagram or Twitter. Did you see his post? You see what he does with In and Out?
No.
He posted this picture. I don't know if it was Twitter or Instagram. He basically got In and Out burger and like diced it up and put it in a tortilla. He made like a In and Out burrito.
What the fuck?
And I want to, man, I wish I could give credit to the person I saw. I was like, yeah, I'm glad he lost now. I'll take it a step further, man. They need a fucking, like biker gangs. Like if you have a tattoo of a certain thing that's affiliated with them, they'll come and they'll cut it off. I think they needed to cut off Cubs' fucking SoCal tattoo, man. Like you just did all Californians wrong with that shit.
What the hell? Why would? Oh God.
There's In and Out up there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm like, all right. I hope you've had it. At least you can say that.
Yes, I've had it, and I just why? Why?
For people who may not know, In and Out is a staple of not just California fast food, but of West Coast fast food. That's what Whataburger is in Texas or White Castle is in the Northeast. So we hold it near and dear to our hearts, most Californians, and this dude just put it in a burrito, and I was like, shame, son, shame.
Seriously, man. Oh man, I don't get it. Oh god damn it. I've never heard of that. I've never seen that. Yeah. Could have got it just animal style or something. What the fuck? Like,
Yeah, he went full animal with that shit. He just like throw the shit on here and go to town.
fucking off the grid with it. What the hell, man?
And
Uh-uh.
I believe Cove is part Mexican, but goddamn, man, you're going full beaner there. That's wrong. That's wrong as a Californian, as a Mexican. That shit's all kinds of wrong.
Oh god damn it. Did he bring his own bottle of hot sauce? Tapatio?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised they just fuck it up even more.
Oh Jesus. Hey, do you guys have Five Guys down there?
We do not many. I think there's
Okay.
only like one or two in my like 10-20 mile radius. There's not too
Oh,
many
okay.
of them.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
becoming my favorite now.
you know what's a good one? And I think they're from Riverside. Just to go on a quick tangent. I think they're in Riverside, but there's only like a few of them out here. Have you ever heard of Farmer Boys?
No, I
That's
have
a
to look it
really
up.
good one. I don't know how many there are in SoCal. Around my area, there's only like two. But man, they're really good. It's like all organic and it's really simple food, but everything has like avocado and bacon. So like that's your thing. It's probably,
Yeah.
yeah, it's very kind of simple, but the really good ingredients. So I like it a lot, and really good chicken sandwich. But yeah. Anyway, well, that's a topic for another day.
Cubs fight. Got us talking about fucking hamburger joints.
Well, man, when you fucking do what he did, come on, man.
Oh
Yeah,
god.
I'd blow off
All
some
right.
steam. Anyway, yeah, but Cowboy Quinta, what everyone came for. Uh, man,
Yay.
did you pick Cowboy? I know I
Yay.
picked Iaquinta. Did you pick Cowboy?
Yes. Yes, of course I did. Everybody, you and Aunt went with Al. I'm like, no, I'm gonna stick with
Dude, I
Cowboy.
fucking went with Al, and I don't like that guy at all, but I went with him, and man, he didn't fight well, but I'm not gonna take anything away from Cowboy. Uh, I kind of critiqued his win over Hernandez, his last fight, because I thought Hernandez just wasn't doing much, and even though he won, he did. Cowboy was doing a lot of things wrong. I really didn't see anything he was doing wrong in this fight. He got caught with a few good shots, but it was nothing compared to what he did at Quinta. He fought brilliantly.
Well, what the hell was Al doing in the first round? Like, he just sat in the middle, like an awkward stance too, just waiting.
I think he was just trying to egg him on. I think it was kind of like some showmanship, like some bravado. Like here, I'll meet you in the middle. Like I'm gonna stay here, and this is where we're gonna fight. Kind of like trying to set the tempo, kind of thing. I think.
Yeah, well, I think he fucked up with that one because Cowboy was talking about how he didn't want to be there. He wasn't even ready to go until the second round. So had he had actually fought him at the beginning and did his thing, maybe we would have had a different outcome. Maybe we would have seen his finish.
And I think that's even dumber now that I think about it, because I hadn't really heard those comments, and you told me about them, much after the fact, and I hadn't really heard those comments, but still, like, I think his corner would have drilled it into his head. He's a slow starter. Go out and fucking take it to him. Even if
Right.
here you might gas out, like it's worth it because at least you'll win the round, and at least you could maybe take the second round off and go from there. That's what I would tell him, but I don't know
Yeah.
what happened there.
Yeah, that was just so awkward to me. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Because I didn't get to see the first and second round that Saturday night. I didn't see it until like the third round and then beyond because my app was fucking up. So when I watched it this morning, I'm like, what the fuck? What is Al doing in the center of the octagon, just sitting there waiting in an awkward stance? Like, is this part of the game plan? Like, what is this? And then yeah, watching the entire fight, and then also watching Cowboy's interview with MMA Junkie. Like he's just like, yeah, I didn't feel like doing any like hitting any mitts. I didn't feel like wrestling. I got to the arena and I just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it out until like the second round. So he should have got me in the first round.
What was he saying that also? Like, did he actually not do anything? Was he like, did he not warm up? Like, did he elaborate on that? Like, he was just went out there cold.
I think maybe he eventually did. He didn't really elaborate all that much, but I'm sure Schilling and his team got him to warm up a little bit.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Like, even if he was like dying, I think Schilling would have been like, "Hey, motherfucker, you better at least do one round on the Thai pads or something, because this is bad, you know."
Yeah. So yeah, he talked about that. Like, yeah, I was not feeling it at all. Mm-mm. But yeah, second round, he's like, yeah, my boy's watching me. I gotta like step it up, and yeah, we saw what happened there. Like, he had an amazing performance. Those switch kicks, man, his just snapping kicks are just up. Dude, I love it. And those front kicks to the face, amazing.
Yeah, Anderson Silva's fighting this weekend, and he threw a little ode to him out there, and that was so surprising that Hal didn't go out from that. But what was amazing about this fight, more than any of the highlight reels that occurred during the fight, was the fact that he fought against type, and not just in style and his fighting style, but in his temperament. You know, everyone knows that Cowboy's an exciting fighter, but to be honest, he's been in wars as far as like he's been hurt and he can come back and win, or maybe not, but he'll put up a fight. But he's not like a Jorge Masvidal, Max Holloway dude where you could be wailing on him and he's still throwing back and he could still catch you. Like most of the time, if somebody hurts Cowboy or they start attacking, he either retreats or every once in a while he'll get TKO'd. Those times where Al hurt him and he came back, that's nothing new. But he he was fighting in a way, he's throwing a lot of combinations, and he was in a range where Al could hit him, but he didn't care because he knew he was going to hit him way harder, with a really big kick or a really nice combo. And man, it was amazing. It was amazing that he pulled that out of his ass to have that heart to go forward like that, but also just that mindset to do things that he normally doesn't do. I don't know if it's just training with Schilling or it's just if it's the whole dad thing. I don't know what it is, but that was really impressive to see. That's something that I really didn't think he was capable of.
Yeah. But Al, man, he's so tough. Fuck. That was an amazing fight. Kind of sad that he lost, but
He may listen
he's
to
so
Ja.
tough.
He may listen to Ja Rule, but yeah, he is.
He's so tough, man. He would not. Cowboy could not put him away.
I know I made some comments, but I did tweet that out during the fight because I totally forgot that he always comes out to Ja Rule. And I was like, oh man, I just tweeted a few days ago that if you like Al Quinta, you probably like Ja Rule too. But sure enough, he likes Ja Rule. So
That's so funny, man. Yeah, and then their Cowboys corner, like Schilling. Yeah, it might be a combination of just having a new team with him, and Schilling, being his striking coach, and yeah, having his son there at his
I, I
fights now.
I know Cowboy. I don't think Cowboy's like a lazy fighter or anything, but I think maybe being a parent, but especially him being older, to him just being a rugged ass veteran, I think he's just at that point in life. Like, look, dude, I don't need to spar 10 rounds. I don't need to, go with 20 different dudes in the cage. I don't need like let me do what I do. I know how to fight. Like I think he's at that point where he's kind of doing his camps the way he wants to do them. I don't think he's one of those guys that you need a kick in the ass every morning to hey get up. We're doing we're sprinting. We're doing 10 workouts and all that type of shit. I think he's got it down. He's got it dialed in, and he does what he wants, but it works for him.
Yeah, yeah. I think I text you too. Like, he seems happier with Schilling in the corner.
I mean, he definitely seems like his type of guy.
Yeah,
And then just
yeah.
obviously the skill too of I'm sure they are sparring, and I'm sure I know Schilling can go hard. I know he's trained with guys like the Diaz brothers and stuff like that, but he's a smart dude too. I know he's gonna give him the most knowledge possible, without inflicting too much damage. At least I think.
That's amazing, man. I mean, we already knew that Cowboy's a great striker, Muay Thai background, but to have Schilling in his corner too, kickboxing and Muay Thai and just leveling up his game more and being smarter about it. Like, I enjoyed listening to him corner him too.
Yeah, I didn't hear too much of the corner advice, but man, the thing we're talking about Al's toughness was, yeah, he took a lot of hits, and then did his nose actually get broken, or was it just super bloody? Did we confirm that?
No, I don't think it was broken. It's just that eye, I think. That bad cut underneath.
It was a cut. Yeah, I just remember just a fuckload of blood. I don't think I ever saw where it came from. But I don't know how he stood up the next day. I know his face was sore as fuck from that beating he took, the front kicks and the knees and all that shit. But his leg, man, and he started towards the middle of the fight. He started going with inside and outside leg kicks. Like Jesus Christ, man, he was just torturing that kid.
Yeah, I went and looked at his Instagram to see if he posted anything regarding his leg, but he didn't.
The old Uriah Faber special.
Yeah, I wanted to check it out and see how he was doing and stuff, but he didn't post anything yet. So, but yeah,
If I was your favorite, I'd be talking to a lawyer or something. And be like, can there any way that I can get money off? Like, everyone owes me $1 every time they post a picture. I was the first one to do it, man.
yeah, it's damn, it
Everyone
was a good
expects it
fight,
now.
right? And
Yeah,
how cool was it that everybody was just cheering for Cowboy too?
yeah. I mean, he's just a legend at this point. You know, like well, I don't know about you. I mean, we went at 214. He fought at 214, and I know we didn't sit together, nothing. But I stood up when him and Robbie, just when they were getting
Yeah,
introduced. Like that was the main event for me. You know, I was like. And it was like the first or second fight on the main card, and I stood up like, "This is what we came for, man. We gotta pay respect to these motherfuckers."
yeah, so amazing. Cowboy, Cowboy. I was like, yeah, go Cowboy. I love him so much.
I think his haircuts, his beard and his haircuts, I think they just make him wilder, man. He had that straight up fucking Appalachian hillbilly haircut, man. That was some crazy. I
How
was
cute!
like, damn, dude.
How cute is this little boy? Oh my
Yeah.
god,
Respect for
he's
wearing
getting
the
cuter,
respect for
huh?
wearing the poncho, man.
He's getting cuter and cuter.
I know he's not Mexican, but he's New Mexican, and that's close enough, I guess. Even with his blonde hair and blue eyes and shit.
They found like a little poncho that size, like so cute.
I think I said when I saw it too, I'm like, I guess you can always keep it and make some kind of cloth out of it or something, but like, it's just unfortunate he's gonna grow that out in like 2 months.
Yeah, they could do something with it, or maybe I don't know, frame it.
Yeah, because an adult gets a poncho, it's like if you get a poncho after like 13 years old, like that's yours for life. You know, you're not gonna outgrow it. But when you're a baby, like yeah, bad investment. But it did look cool as hell. But it seems like everyone's talking about Connor, and I know this is kind of in the balls in Connor's court, especially given the pay-per-view deal, the ESPN Plus thing, and points and money and all that stuff. But I think that's the fight to make, man. Like I don't see any other way to go about it. I mean, I think the only other fight that'd be cool is Tony Ferguson, but I don't even really want to talk about Tony at this point. I know he talked to Dana and it seems like everything's okay, but until I see him healthy and well, I can't say what's healthy, but I don't know. I think he just needs more time. I'm just still a little uncomfortable with it.
Yeah, I think that's the fight to make too, because I mean, Cowboy wants the title shot as well, but he's going to be waiting, right? If he does.
Yeah,
So
Poirier is
why
like,
not? Yeah, so why not go with the money fight?
and the thing is for McGregor, it's interesting because I remember a lot of people have been talking about this fight for a long time. I remember when Nate Diaz fought Connor the first time. Cowboy was one of the main guys that everyone thought he was going to fight because it was the last minute replacement. It was like, well, Cowboy's the guy for that job, and they've had their back and forth. And I remember that everyone was on Cowboys nuts back then. Like, oh, he's gonna fuck Connor up. I was like, nah, dude, Connor, that's like a good style matchup for Connor. Like he'll knock him out in the first round. But now it's not just that I don't know where Connor's at right now. I think that Cowboy's probably a bad style matchup for him now. Like
Uh,
now that I know that he can take it, and he still has his ground game, and he's got those kicks. Like I think he should be the favorite. I wouldn't be surprised if he loses, but I'm not gonna be surprised if he wins.
yeah, well, that would be the fight to make, but from a company standpoint, I think it would be bad because Do they want to see Conor lose again?
Here's the thing.
Possibly lose again?
Here's the thing, and I don't know if Conor would think about this or his managers or I don't know what the UFC or Shelby or any of the matchmakers are thinking, but to me, it's a good fight, not just because Cerrone's a veteran, not just because he's kind of a legend, a UFC legend, not just because of the fan base. I mean, he really is one of the best fighters in UFC history. You know, maybe not MMA history, but all his records of all the bonus checks, his appearances, all the wins, all the finishes. Like the dude's kind of a it's like Bisping towards the end. Even before he fought for the belt, like when he beat Anderson, people are like, you know what, Bisping's a legend now. Like we didn't realize it, but he is. And I think Cowboys in that same thing. Like yeah, he may not be the champion. He may have never won the belt. But I think there's a lot of good to come with fighting Cowboy. He's got a good fan base that's not just going to be casuals that like Connor. Like there's a lot of casuals that also like Cowboy. So that's going to be a gang of pay-per-views. I think you don't need a title fight for that. It's exciting enough on its own. And if wins, obviously very good. I mean, he gets the payday of his life and he beats Connor. But if Connor beats Cowboy, it's not just another win. It's like you beat one of the best fighters in UFC history.
Yeah, that's a big if, though, man. I don't know what's gonna happen. I hope so. Like, did he call him out for July? I believe it was July for the call
Well,
out.
there's a blank space right now. 239 is basically all said and done, and 241 shaping up. But there's 240, and that's between July and August. There's going to be another card there, and there's basically nothing on tap for that. So I think that's the way to go.
Oh man, I hope he comes out. Did he even tweet anything after this fight? Because he usually does.
Connor,
Yeah.
I know he called Khabib and his homies dirty rats because they tested positive for steroids or something, and I know he went at Aldo because he posted a picture where he's looking ripped and saying that he's on the sauce again. So he's pulling that Carlos Esparza move now of just everyone's on steroids. So I don't
Oh
know. Yeah, so he's not in that mode that he was 3 months ago of like, hey, I want to fight you because you beat fucking Joe Blow, and he was aching for a fight for whatever reason. Now I really don't even know what's going on with him.
doing lines.
It's funny, even like my mom, who I mean, I guess she follows the sport only because I follow it so thoroughly. But even she'll randomly ask me, "Hey, what's up with Connor?" And I was like, "A lot of shit, mom. I don't
Damn.
know what to tell you. Like I can't even get into half of it."
Damn, dude. Even Mama Juice knows about him.
Mama, yep, yeah. Well, it's funny because yeah, my mom barely speaks English, so she watches Spanish news, and every once in a while I'll see stories with Connor, like in the morning news. I was like, wait, they're talking about him? Like he's not even Mexican. What the fuck's going on?
Damn.
It's nuts. Yeah, I know. That's how much of a star he is. So get a grasp of that. Yeah. Well, that was UFC Ottawa. We kind of talked about Invicta last week. I know you caught that one too, Reen. So what were your thoughts on either the tournament or Brianna Van Buren? What were your thoughts about the night?
Dude, I love that tournament style. I wonder if they're gonna do that again. It was fun watching it.
I don't know if they have any vacant titles. I think that would work out best if there's something vacant. But it's hard to it's hard to tell because it seems like every time someone wins a title, they immediately transported to the UFC. Like Virna Jandiroba, she fought Esparza like a week or two ago, and she had just won the belt a few months ago. So I mean, that's the thing with Brianna Van Buren. She's so young and she's so talented. Like I don't know if I want to see her in the UFC yet. But also, I'm also at the point like I don't know what else she has to prove. Like I want to see her defend her title once. I'm not sure against who, but I don't know. This tournament format is good, but I want to see her like with a full training camp, fighting a good girl, and see what she can do there.
That man, her performance was amazing. I can't believe she fought three people, three tough girls, had two finishes. She reminds me of DC.
Yeah, yeah, and not just because she's black and she's from Gilroy, which
Hell,
is the same. Well, it's just funny. It's like it really would stick out to me when I first seen her. I'm like, I really want this girl to win. Like, I like her style, but honestly, there's just not a lot of female black fighters. Like, I can literally name three. It's her, Angie Hill, and Danielle Taylor. Like, I can't name any other ones. So it's like it's good to see them, and especially if they're doing this good. Like, man, that's cool. I think she's very going the Macy Barber way, marketable. I think she's cute as hell. I think she's very exciting, and she's just dominant as all hell, man. Like, do you think if they fast track her, do you think she could actually do something in the UFC at this point?
It's possible because just the way she was setting up her hands for those takedowns, and then just the way she was mauling the girls on the ground, dude. I think it's gonna be a bad night for a lot of girls. I
And
think
it's
she can take a lot of the strawweight girls right now. I think just
and
the
her
way her
submission
style.
game, her submission game is no joke.
Yes, her style is just amazing, man. I love it.
It's just crazy because she's so short too. She's a little tiny thing, but man, she's powerful as hell.
Yeah, fucking little tank. I
Yeah.
guess she trained at AKA too, because she had AKA on her shorts and then her
Mhm.
banner too. So
Yeah, she's from Gilroy, and I know you know where that is.
yeah,
Home of the garlic.
yeah. And then I guess her uncle is the one that owns the gym, or her uncle is the coach.
Of what, in Gilroy?
No, of
The
her. Her uncle coaches her, or she
Oh, okay.
is at the gym that her uncle owns or something.
Well,
But
AKA like Khabib, I think a lot of people forget that Khabib's not really from AKA. He does a lot of training in Russia. He just goes out there a lot of the times for his training camps.
yeah,
He has his own thing going on too.
yeah. So that's cool that she trains with her uncle and whatnot, and then goes over to AKA and get some more training done.
It's definitely wise because I don't know many girls that are at AKA, but I mean if she's training the way that the dudes are, like they're probably running her through the ringer, and if she's sparring with some of these guys, I don't know if that's gonna be smart because you know how they go over there.
Yeah, I'm like looking at like the strawweight division now with the UFC, like Courtney Casey, Ronda Marcos, Alexa Grasso, like maybe give her a couple more fights and then yeah, step her up to the UFC.
Trying to think. I usually when we talk about this, usually a match pops up in my head that I immediately want to see her in, but nothing comes to mind right away.
Her and Carla would be a good matchup.
Well, Carla's weird because like you think she's gonna suck, and all of a sudden she does good. Like with the Vienna Jandarova fight. Um, yeah, Carla's one of those girls. Like I really don't want to see her against a lot of them because she still has it. Like unless it's Joanna, Tatiana, those girls. Like well, I thought Gadelia was top of the. Actually that'd be a good fight. I know that's a too much too soon, but I don't want to see what happens. Her Van Buren and Gadelia.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good one. I wouldn't mind watching that one.
This is funny, just an awkward silence.
Yeah. No, I just thought about something like she took from. Okay, we'll talk about it later for sure, but she didn't want to fight Cynthia Calvillo, and she actually took the Ronda fight instead.
Ooh. Okay, yes, yeah, we're definitely gonna touch on that in a
Yeah.
little bit later on. So yes, I'll keep that in mind. I'll make a note of it right now. So that was Invicta. We're gonna get into the tweet of the week real quick. Tweet of the week this week goes to Jordan Patu. I don't know if it's Patu or Patu. If you guys are on Twitter, if you guys follow us, I'm sure you follow him. He has a lot of followers. He's a very smart dude. Maori guy. He tweeted, this is on last Saturday. He tweeted, perhaps one of the most painful parts about watching a big boxing event is having to listen to MMA fans unnecessarily decide to use the event to try and make a case for their sport being superior. We literally watched Greg Hardy fight as our co-main event last week. Please chill. I couldn't agree with that anymore.
What the fuck? I wasn't on Twitter or anything, so I must have missed the show.
Yeah, it was man. I hear that so much. It's always boxing's boring, MMA's better, and it's like I I don't know. I never thought in my life, I guess, growing up with boxing, with Mexicans, I'm like, well, I always had to do the opposite, like, oh, boxing's the shit and MMA sucks. Those guys can't fight. And just seeing this on MMA Twitter, it's like, man, will you motherfuckers get some culture? Like, the boxing's a beautiful sport, man. Just accept it for what it is. Like, if it's boring, cool, not for you. But it's like, just don't comment on it. Boxing's been around for so long. I know technically MMA has been around forever if you count pancration and Vale Tudo and all that shit, but boxing's been an established sport for hundreds of years. You're not gonna change anyone's mind, man.
What the hell? So they were booing and bitching and complaining about the Canelo fight?
Yeah, everyone thought it was boring, and that's our next topic. We're gonna talk about the Canelo fight. A lot of people thought it was boring. Triple G tweeted like, "Oh, that was a sparring match. The fans deserve better. That was
What the?
boring." It was
Oh
funny.
my god.
I will DM you that picture. He had a picture. He had like sunglasses on, and he just looked all smug and shit. It was pretty funny. But yeah, it seemed like a lot of people were with him, and he was like, "Yeah, if I fought him again, it wouldn't be like that." I think he's just fishing for a fight. But yeah, a lot of people were saying that, and I don't know. I think Canelo's in this weird space now. He really is the new Mayweather for many reasons, which we're gonna get to in a second. But he's the biggest star. Uh, he's tough to knock out, and when it goes to decision, he usually goes his way. So I think a lot of people are kind of fed up in a way, like, oh, well, it's gonna go to decision, and he's gonna win. Which I mean, I think he clearly won this fight, and I think a lot of people didn't know who Jacobs was and didn't give him enough credit. But I think a lot of people have that misconception. Well, maybe an accurate conception, but I don't know. You're coming into the sport, you should know that it's fully fucked up and dirty, but just enjoy the fighting and nothing else about it.
Right? Just watch and pay attention to what they're doing in there.
And I know you didn't watch the fight live, but I know you caught it earlier. What did you think?
I liked that. I enjoyed it. It was bothering me that people were booing. I thought it was an amazing fight. It was back and forth. You know, Jacobs was hurting Canelo. Canelo was hurting Jacobs. I mean, they were both technical fighters. I thought, like, I enjoyed it, so I don't understand why you can't sit there and enjoy what we're watching too.
Yeah, and it's funny because you hadn't really seen Jacobs before this, huh?
I had no idea who this guy was until you mentioned him in the last episode. So
I,
yeah, I checked it out and I was like, damn, this is
yeah, and
cool. I like it.
even you saw like what he was doing, and what I had mentioned last week with Ant Walker is that he's a very tricky guy in many instances.
Dude, the switch stances and just he goes both southpaw and orthodox and the hooks and
The fact that he has absolutely no rhythm at all, he can be
yeah,
throwing one strike a minute, and all of a sudden he throws like 10 in 1 second.
yes, he was like he caught Canelo in a couple like huge rights, I believe it was, and then just backed up him in the corner. And next thing you know, he's like throwing a flurry of punches.
And he's a
So
big dude too, man. Like, props to Canelo for that chin he has, but I didn't know about this till the broadcast, and I really have no dog in this fight. I know I'm Mexican and I should go for the fucking ginger, but I wasn't. I didn't really care. I just wanted to see a good fight. But what pissed me off is what they brought up on the broadcast, which I had no idea about until they stepped in the ring, is that Canelo, it seemed like there was some kind of backroom deal, something written in the contract that Jacobs could not weigh over 10 pounds over the uh, the 160-pound limit. So it's not just that he had to make 160 pounds, which he did. He did the weigh-ins and everything was fine, but he didn't want to gain more than 10 pounds after doing the weigh-in. And when I heard that shit, I was like, this is some bullshit. As I mentioned earlier, he's the new Mayweather. He's doing all these stupid little rules to put everything in his favor, and it's really pissing me off. I mean, I guess props to him for getting paid, but there's plenty of Mexican fighters who've been paid. If I've always rooted for the Mexican fighters, not just because that's my race, but I like their style. They fight anybody, anytime, and they're all, you know, blood and guts. But seeing this shit is like, it really bothers me.
that's insane. That's a lot of money, man.
Yeah, he was fined $900,000. It was $250,000 a pound. So that's 750,000 plus half. So yeah, that's about $900,000 for
Dude,
3.5 pounds that he gained.
that's so insane to me. He got fined $900,000.
And
We
he's
had an
competing.
amazing, well, we had an amazing like main event in Ottawa. Cowboy only got paid like 400,000 for the performance that he had. Like it's so crazy the amount of money boxing has.
This is what I tell people. Like I've been, I never understood it when I was young, seeing all these big paydays. Like I didn't understand where the money came from. But the thing is, boxers have been fucked over for not just decades, possibly over a century. You know, as I've heard somebody once say, fighting is the story of exploitation. You know, that is and probably always will be the case. But the thing in boxing too, you got to remember the guys that make money make good money, justified money most of the time anyway. But the lower end guys make shit, so it takes a long time to get there. You really got to pay your dues. You know, Lomachenko's one of the few ones, and even then, you got to give him props because he had like 400 amateur fights. He's paid his dues, maybe not professionally, but everyone knows how skilled he is, and he is possibly the best pound for pound fighter right now. But MMA is just, I'm not gonna say it's not in that space. There's that ESPN deal they sold for $4 billion. They definitely have money, but boxers had to get their shit together. The Muhammad Ali Act didn't get enacted till what, the 90s. I mean, it's only been very recently. It's only been in my lifetime that boxers started getting paid fairly. I don't know how long it's gonna take for MMA, but at this point, I'm kind of like, what are you guys waiting on? Because it's not gonna be on the UFC.
Yeah, it's insane. $35 million he got paid for that. Wow, man.
And there was, oh, I forgot to add this story, but it came to mind right now that you were talking about the money. Did you see this thing that the NBA and the UFC want to team up to make streaming a felony?
What the fuck?
So right now, I mean, it's clearly illegal, but they usually just fine you and all right, you owe such and such money. But I guess the NBA has this problem, maybe even worse than the UFC. And they're like, well, how can we stop streaming? It's like, well, we're never going to stop them streaming because it's like, well, they can just, you know, shut it down and open another one up in 5 minutes. But if we make it a felony, people will be too scared to even go there. So, and the thing that scares me is, especially with the UFC stuff, Dana's friends with Trump. And if this is actually like a legal thing and Trump has some kind of say in this, yeah, there could be fucking problems. Especially to you, MMA Twitter. I don't know how many motherfuckers of you stream, but I'm willing to bet 90% of you do. So, yeah.
Why don't you take that money that you have and, I don't know, figure out how to stop streaming?
I really don't think they could. It's like, I think it's like the drug war. Sure, make drugs illegal. Sure, you can send people to jail. Sure,
There's gotta be some
DEA,
kind of,
like the drugs are always going to be around.
it's on the net. It's on the World Wide Web. There's gotta be some kind of program or some kind of programming protocol that we don't know about that could be figured out to where it just shuts it down and like throws a virus or something. There's gotta be something. They just don't want to do it.
I guess the optimism is, well, the optimism. I mean, I think that's harsh, but I get where they're coming from. But I know it's kind of a different basket, but I always think like with the streaming stuff, like it's always funny to me that porn could never do anything. I don't know if it's just like the taboo of like, well, nobody wants to admit that they watch porn type thing, but it's like, dude, they ran that business in the ground. Some of the girls at least are still making money and whatnot, but it's like, I mean, if you want to talk about streaming, illegal streaming and piracy and all that, porn is where it's at, but they've never won any kind of lawsuit like that, at least not to
Right?
my knowledge.
It's so extreme to me. Like, you kidding, right? Like, good luck with that. I mean, trying to make that a law.
Yeah, well, like I said,
How about you fucking do
Dana.
your job? How about you fucking do your job and make sure my app works? I mean, the first time it was, I get it. I just hopped on it. It was a new thing. And then, I watched fights here and there. It was cool. And then this past weekend, it wouldn't pop up. It was just spinning the whole time. So I was getting pissed off. I hate that shit. I did all the troubleshooting. I shut it down. I like turned it back on. I deleted the app and everything. I know how to fuck with my shit. I know what I'm doing, and I couldn't get it to work. So ESPN, get your shit together. Why don't you work on that first before you're trying to like put some law down to stop streaming? Maybe that's the reason why people are streaming too, because your shit is fucked up still.
It's actually a really good segue of, I mean, you see that report, right? That UFC 236, that it's like hit like a 15-year low.
Yeah, it was
I
sad,
still
man.
don't even know how they've estimated that. I know Dave Meltzer, his system's not foolproof, but I mean, we knew it was going to be low, but it's like, as we mentioned when it happened, it's like, well, that's what you get, you know? And I know the UFC's still okay because they still made decent money, I got to assume. But it's like, you could have easily made twice your money. I'm willing to bet you could have made twice that amount had you got your shit together. And I'm actually worried because I saw that event at a bar for various reasons, but a small one was that, yeah, I don't know how the streaming thing was going to work out. Bars and restaurants still have the old school model, so I know I can trust them. But this will be the first event that I actually get on the app. So I don't know what the fuck's going to happen, but I know shit better get fucking fixed. I know all the tricks. I better know all the tricks. I better find a way to fucking stream because, son, I got Roku, I got Chromecast, I got a smart TV, I got everything. That shit better fucking work, man. That shit
Yeah,
better work because, geez, and okay, we're gonna mention this in a second when we talk about Rose, but I don't know. I really don't even know if it's possible to make stars anymore. Connor may be the last star in UFC history, I think.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we're gonna expand on that. I mean that does it for last weekend's cards, I should say.
Yeah,
But but we're gonna get into the preview for the week. So UFC 237 this weekend, going down in Rio. We're gonna highlight a few fights. So Irene Aldana is back off of that fight of the year performance with Lucy Pudilova. She's fighting Betch Correia, who hasn't fought since Holly Holm kicked her in the face. Been almost 2 years.
T-Rex arms.
Hey, oh man, no, that's Artem Lobov, who we're also gonna talk about later.
Betch too, man. She doesn't have any head movement. She has those short arms.
She's a stocky chick. I mean, what she.
She can shake her ass really good.
Thank you. I was gonna say something, but thank you for saying it for me.
Hey
But
man, we don't have
you,
a guest, so I can say whatever I want.
you can't have everything, you know. I mean, you got a big ass and good twerking moves. It's gonna come at a price, I think.
Yeah, dude. Did you know she had like some surgery, eye surgery issue? Like,
Yeah, her eye got fucked up, man. Actually, speaking of, when we were talking about Cub Swanson earlier, 227, she was supposed to fight here. This fight was supposed to happen in August of last year, and she pulled out like the week of the fight. I guess the CSAC didn't clear her, and then that's why Aldana fought Pudilova next month because it was too late a notice to get a replacement, and she ended up fighting on the next pay-per-view.
yeah, she had like 3 different eye surgeries.
Was it like a Michael Bisping situation where literally fucking they knocked her eye fucking crooked?
I don't know. They didn't really elaborate on this article I was reading, but I had no idea she was going through all that. That's why she was out this entire time.
I want to say that I don't think Aldana was the first fight, or I think she's had a few fights fall out, and I think yeah she'd gotten her eye poked in training, but I don't think they knew how serious it was, and then yeah, she was supposed to be clear for the Aldana fight because it was not a new issue. But then I think when they looked at her a second time, they're like, yeah, you can't fight. This is too risky.
Well, she's gonna get her other eye fucked up then.
So you're going Aldana.
Yeah, I mean, the reach, the height, just the talent, Betch doesn't do it for me, man. I'm going with the Mexican.
Yeah, I mean it's oh man, shout outs to Steven Rivers. We've talked about this fight for like a year, ever since it was announced, because he has a strange fascination with Correa, and frankly I do too. I call Correa the coyote because she's very deceptive. she has this weird allure or whatever you want to call it about her, where you know the right way to fight her, but when you get in the ring with her, you do stupid shit and you fight her fight for some reason. I don't know how she does it, but she's very tricky and she's very smart.
I don't know how she's gonna get on the inside with Irene. Like,
Aldana has really good. She's good. She's good. It's just
yeah,
people have gotten in on her before. I mean, she's one of the taller chicks in the division. I mean, I won't count the Leslie Smith fight because Leslie is really tall, so that was kind of like fighting fire with fire. Pugilova's kind of tall, she got it, but people have gotten in on her before. I, I don't know. I have a feeling Correa is gonna make it tricky, and at that point, I think it's gonna be like a split decision. It's gonna go either way. But
damn.
that fight with Pujilova was so goddamn good. Like if we see that on Lana, their head movement, their fucking boxing, like it should be amazing.
Yeah, see, she might get knocked out, man. I have a feeling she might get knocked out, dude.
Correa,
Yeah.
Lana's
You just never know with Correa, man, because she doesn't move her head. She has no movement.
yeah, but like I said, she's tricky. It. I think she does have some power. Like I don't think she has like knockout power, but I think she hits hard, and I think it kind of scares girls. Now I think Aldana's been hit by meaner, more powerful chicks, but I don't know. I don't know. It's tough. I'm gonna go with Aldana. I have to go with the white Mexican, but yeah, I don't know why. I know it's spelled the exact same way, but for some reason I think it's cool that her name is pronounced Irene. But no. You know, I don't blame you for saying Irene, but it's just funny to hear sometimes.
Elena, did I say it
Irene,
right?
or
Elena,
you gotta roll the R. Irene,
Elena. Okay.
close enough. Okay. Next fight. Next fight, we're gonna be talking about Francisco Trinaldo and Carlos Diego Ferreira. Um,
Dude.
two tough ass Brazilians. This is some brilliant matchmaking. I haven't even really thought about this fight. I'm looking at it right now. I'm like, shit. I don't think I've thought about it too much. It's so tough to call.
Well, I I didn't go for Hale last time, and I got it wrong. So I'm going with him this time around because the way he looked last time against shit
Calvillo.
Calvillo. So yeah, he looked amazing against Calvillo back in February. This is a quick turnaround for him. Here he is in May fighting again. So and yeah, I understand Trinaldo is a crafty veteran. You know he's been around, but just the way Fahea looked last time, yeah, he's on a 4-fight win streak. He's only lost to like Poirier and Benil Dariush, really. So
Do you
on paper,
know?
he looks good on paper.
Do you remember Trinaldo's last fight?
No,
It was Evan
actually,
Dunham.
that's right.
Do you
Okay.
remember what he did to him?
God damn it. No, actually, I don't.
He
Did I
fucking made
watch
his
that?
rib explode. He caught him
Is
with
that
a counter knee to the body that made him fucking fall and die.
shit? I've been watching so much fights. I can't remember shit.
I will never forget that shit because that shit terrified me. He threw like a jab and he countered it with a knee to the body, and Evan Dunham felt like he got shot in the fucking chest, man. It was terrifying.
Hmm.
And
Well,
after
still,
seeing that, yeah, I'm gonna go with Ronaldo. I'm gonna go with
okay.
Ronaldo because although Fajeda's really good, and how many fights did you say? What was his win streak?
I think it was 4-fight win streak.
Yeah, he's been on a bit of a
He's
roll.
been on a terror right now.
But
Yeah.
Ronaldo has only lost to badass motherfuckers. I mean, he's beat Paul Felder. He only loses to the top of the top. And Fajeda's good. I just don't know if he's that good yet. So I gotta go with I can never say his nickname, Master Induba. I don't know what the fuck that means, but everyone calls him that. But I gotta go with the old man. I gotta go
Yeah.
with the old man.
I'm going with the young buck.
Okay, cool. Some dissension. All right, so time to get to the legends. Jose Aldo. And his last year of fighting is fighting Alex Volkanovski. I've heard a lot of people compare this to Aldo and Mendez, since Volkanovski is very similar to Mendez, both in stature and style, strength. I actually think Volkanovski's wrestling may be better though, and I think he's got a gas tank for days. But Aldo's on such a tear, and just a total not giving a fuck kind of attitude. I I want to say this is close, but I just can't. I can't shake this feeling that Aldo's gonna fuck him up.
But you're going with Aldo, right?
I think I have to. Yeah, I mean it's with no kind of like real confidence. It's just like his. I thought Moicano was gonna do something, and he could do nothing. I know that was kind of on him. I know he was kind of like starstruck, but I think if Volkanovski even has an ounce of that, I think Aldo's gonna just say "fuck you" and just take it to him. Aldo gives no kinds of fucks right now, man. I don't like if he gets knocked out. I don't even think he'll be sad. It's just like, hey, I'm here to fuck people up, and if I get fucked up, then that's just the way it goes, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that scares me. That's WEC Aldo. That's what I've been calling him the past couple fights. Like this is the 23-year-old who was throwing flying knees in 8 seconds into the fight. Like this is a kid who just does not give a fuck, and he's going back to that 3 round fights. He's just saying, I can go all day. I'm not gonna get tired, you know.
Yeah. I'll go with Aldo too. I think this might be too soon for Alexander. I mean, to fight Aldo in Brazil in his backyard. I mean, yeah, he has a win over, a vet like Chad Mendes, but he had his foot out the door, man. Mendes finally came back and he had one foot out the door. So, I mean, it looks good on paper on his resume, don't get me wrong, but I mean, prior to that, he fought Darren Elkins, and that went for 3 rounds. So, I mean, to fight a world beater like Aldo in his backyard, dude, that's gonna be tough. I think it's gonna be too soon. I think I don't think there's gonna be a finish. I don't know. That Moicano fight, man, I was wrong on that one.
I really like. I want to say I really like and respect Volkanovski, and I will say that if this is a 5 round fight, I may favor Volkanovski.
Hmm.
But there's just something about 3 round Aldo that I just can't pick against him right now. I'm really interested to see who he fights next, win or lose.
Yeah,
That's just gonna be his last fight. But if he wins, man, he's gonna get a bad motherfucking contender, you know. But I just got a feeling 3 round Aldo. I think a second round TKO.
damn. Okay, yeah. Oh, it's gonna be a good fight.
And you're with Aldo too, right?
Yeah, I can't go against him. Shit, I made that mistake last time.
And I mean, I don't know how much they care in Brazil, especially in his hometown, but security, just please be on standby. Just have 18 guys at every corner of the outfit because he's gonna jump out. And if
Yeah,
you care that there might be a riot, then whatever, that's on you. But just know it's gonna happen.
yeah,
The minute that he wins, just
yeah. Something's gonna happen, man.
yeah, have a fucking brigade right out the door. Yeah. So
Nut.
co-main event time: Anderson Silva, Jared Cannonier. I'll let you start.
I just, I don't know what to say about this fight. Man, I mean, it does nothing for nobody. Like, if
Really?
I don't, if Jared knocks Anderson Silva out, what does that say? Like, oh, he's great. He beat the goat. But it's Anderson, 44-year-old Anderson Silva.
Izzy couldn't knock him out.
Yeah,
And
but
that was 2 months
and
ago.
I
Oh,
think
three months ago.
Izzy respected him too much. They had too much respect for each other.
You don't think Cannonier's gonna respect him, especially in his home country?
Dude, I don't think so.
Got
But
as I say, you got to give props to a black dude who lived in Alaska for a prolonged period of time. Man, that dude gives no fucks.
oh,
That's 3 round Aldo level of no fucks given.
yeah, dude. Man, so I guess his like luggage got lost. So
Yeah,
he's
at
been
the embedded, yeah, I saw that.
so he's been in like bad luck and shit. I
But he
guess his
seems
baby was
happy.
sick.
He's like, man, something always bad happens before my fights, but when something bad happens, that usually means I win. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of happy.
But in Brazil with Anderson Silva. I actually have Silva down as my pick, but I'm not sure, man.
I'm gonna go with Cannonier. 1, for being a black dude living in Alaska. 2, to saying fuck it and relocating to Arizona. Like the cold is too much for you, so you go to the hottest place on earth. And 3, mostly, because I told Just Bleed that the killer gorilla was gonna smash the spider, so I gotta stick with it. I'm not gonna fucking bitch out now, so I'm going with Cannoneer.
Yeah,
I won't
I'm,
say knockout. I'll say decision.
I'm sticking with Silva. I mean, it's in his backyard. If he performed like he did, against Izzy, if we get that Anderson Silva, then he'll probably go to decision. Decision win.
Reen, you gotta promise me that you will not cry and that you will not turn the channel when this fight comes on.
I won't fucking cry, man.
I tell you, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you as soon as you're announcing his name, and I better not hear any sniffling.
Dude, I stopped getting emotional ever since he got popped for that blue vial.
But you said you couldn't watch the Israel fight.
Oh, that's just a little too emotional because of Izzy. This is
Oh, that's right.
Silva.
Oh, that's right. You love Izzy too. I forgot about
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
that was a lose lose to you.
yeah. So I'm like, damn it. But yeah, this one, I don't get it. Like, why? Why fight him? But I'm gonna go with Silva.
All right, cool. Some more dissension. Uh, okay, main event time. Rose, Thug Rose, Dead-Eyed Namajunas versus Reen's future wife, Jessica Andrade.
She's taken, man.
Yeah, by that older lady. Hey,
Oh, damn.
from one to another. Props, Jessica. But
I
yeah,
really did
man.
think it was her mom, though. Sorry.
Hey, I will not comment. I'm not hating. I'm not hating, and I know Reen's not hating either, but I get it.
Man, two hot chicks going at it.
And in very unconventional ways. I don't feel comfortable talking about Jessica because I know that's your girl. Rose is obviously very pretty, but she's bald and she pulls it off somehow. Um, what can you say for Rose, man? She's so badass. She beat Joanna's ass so bad she had to get her boobs done to make herself feel better.
I forgot about that. Oh, Jesus.
I didn't.
Obviously. Damn, man.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Rose just looking on natural, fucking shaving her head, getting their haircuts with fucking getting her haircut with fucking Pat Barry and Trevor Whitman.
Seriously, man. I saw that embedded with all three of them. I'm like, yo, they got the same fade and everything.
Sorry, I didn't mean to steal your joke. That was all Reen right there, but you brought
It's
that
all
up
good.
and I couldn't not mention it.
It's all good. I was cracking up. Man, I was like staring at her head. I'm like, dude, I can't pull that off. There's no way I can go with that shaved look.
Definitely take some confidence.
Yeah, props to her, man. She's so beautiful with her blue eyes, but man, Jessica's the girl for me. She
That
been looking good lately.
I can't even press Reen on this too much because I've heard girls for years now, both gay and straight, like, yeah, I don't like the butch girls, but damn, fucking Andrade does it for me. And as I said, I believe it was when she knocked out Carolina. I believe I tweeted, Jessica Andrade will steal your girl, gay, straight, it don't matter. She's gonna fucking take you. And what are you gonna do, fight her? I'm a
Right?
guy, and we're not gonna fight her for even for my fucking girlfriend. Hey, take her, you win.
Right? Go
Sorry.
ahead. Go right ahead. Well, see, I never really looked at her that way until like I've seen these posters, the UFC 237 posters come out.
The
And I was
one
just
with
like, oh,
Rose pointing.
yeah, I'm like, oh, look at Jessica. She looks cute. And then started watching Embedded. I was like, damn, girl, look at that booty. So she's been looking good, man. I wouldn't be mad at her if she like started hitting on me. I'm like, what's up, girl?
You're not gonna me too her.
No, man.
Oh man.
Dude, seriously.
Okay, getting to business now. Let's get serious.
I thought we were.
I know you're serious, but I'm talking about the fighting stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They're fighting.
This is This is such a tough fight for me. And before I say to the pick or break anything down, what I was saying earlier about the ESPN Plus and the pay per view thing, I was really happy when they first announced this fight. A lot of people were like, were happy that this fight was happening because a lot of people like Rose and oh, finally she's back fighting. But I remember when they announced it as the main event, people were kind of like, huh, what? Why is that one the main event? And I was beyond ecstatic because a strawweight fight has never headlined a big pay per view. Joanna never headlined the pay per view. She was always the co-main event, or she headlined like Fox Sports cards and stuff. And I would always be mad, even with Joanna. I was like, why don't you give her a chance? So many people like her. She could be a star. Or why wouldn't you even at least give her like a Fox main card? Like give her more of an outlet, a bigger platform. And they're finally doing it with Rose, but this ESPN Plus shit, I don't think that's gonna bring in new eyeballs. I don't think there's any way she can become a star. She can fucking, wheel kick her into oblivion, and I don't think she's gonna get much attention because it was on ESPN Plus and so little people saw it. I mean, it's already in Brazil. It never gets much coverage unless it's Ronda fighting, who doesn't even exist anymore. So I'm just mad that should Rose win, that she's not going to get, the fame and the money and all that stuff that she deserves. But talking about the actual fight, it's just so hard for me. Rose is legit like a hero of mine. When she knocked out Joanna, I really didn't really have much problem with Joanna, and then she made her comments in the first fight about her being mentally unstable, and then she fucking knocked her head off, and I was so happy. I don't think I've ever been so happy seeing a fighter win like that moment. Her post fight speech, everything really touched me. And then the rematch, not knocking her out once and then going 5 rounds with her and still beating her, it's amazing. But Jessica Andrade is a fucking tank. She's my kind of fighter. She's a fucking animal, and she got her chance at the title and came up short. Like, I'm not gonna be mad at either one winning, but I'm also gonna be very sad at whoever loses.
Damn, that was touching.
Thanks. I guess I don't know. I mean,
Damn, it got me all sad. I'm like, oh man, I was excited about this.
be excited for the fight. It's amazing. It's just like no, I really do love Rose. I'm almost like kicking myself. I had so much things on my mind of things I wanted to write and things for the podcast that I didn't get a chance to really digest it all. But yeah, I really do love Rose, man. She really is a hero of mine. She's up there with Kat Zingano as a hero of mine and fighting in general, but definitely on the women's side, like one of my favorite fighters. But I don't know with this fight. I don't know if she can win.
Yeah, I know. I went back and forth, but just her going to Brazil to defend her belt, that's so gangster. She's so fucking confident that she's going to keep that belt. She's going to punch her in the face and choke her out. That's her game plan. That's
Yeah,
how she's going to win.
yeah, I heard her say that, which is damn props.
Right? So gangster. Having said that, though, like I love Jessica too. Just her fighting style. I know I was joking around about how she's good looking. Yeah, I don't want to touch her ass or whatever, but I do love her fighting style. Just watching her get beat by Joanna and then just coming back from that. It will be sad if either of them loses. You're right, man. It's so fucking tough.
I
But
don't, not to cut you off, but honestly, I'm trying to think of another fight where I've liked both fighters as much. Like, there's fighters are
yeah,
like, I like them both, but I think this guy's gonna win, and most likely he's gonna win. I haven't thought of a fight that's one this close and two like equally. I will be just as heartbroken if either of them wins or loses.
yeah. I don't know. It's been a while for me, but I'm going with the underdog. I'm going with Rose. I have to stick with the champions though. But hey, like if Jessica wins, I won't be mad at it. I will not be mad at it. But I just wonder how long she'll be able to hold on to the belt.
I'm going with Andrade, and I know this is tough for me to even say because it kind of flies in the face of what I've been saying about her and things I love about Rose. But earlier in her career, she seemed to have some demons, and she would kind of mentally break at points. Like the Carolina fight comes to mind. Like she kind of had that fight, but she kind of went away from her in the last couple of rounds. The thing is, Andrade is such a tank, and I think she took the loss against Joanna pretty well, but she never got fucking tired in that fight. She never stopped coming forward. I know there's 5 rounds is not going to be an issue for her, and obviously Rose has gone 5 rounds too with Joanna, and it was a close fight. But Joanna has a style that's very good to Rose because she can fight that kind of fight all day. But there's no mercy with Andrade. She's gonna keep coming and swinging, and even if she misses, even if you're slipping and dipping and nothing's really catching you, it only takes one. It only takes one to seriously hurt you, and with two or three, she might knock you the fuck out. I mean, I know the Carolina knockout was technically a one punch knockout, but she caught her with a lot of good punches before that. She caught her like 10 seconds into the fight. I think that I think Rose is gonna do really good, but I have a feeling Andrade is gonna get this feeling, this reminder, this memory of losing to Joanna. And I think somewhere in the third or fourth round, I think she's gonna be losing. I think she's gonna. They might be close, but I think she's gonna be losing rounds. And I think something's gonna happen in the third or fourth round where she turns it on and fucking gives it to Rose and probably finishes her.
Damn, it's rough if it's going to be a finish. Ugh.
I really, I mean, I don't want to say I don't want this because I like Rush too, but I just kind of have this feeling, and also as glorious and triumphant it'll be for Rose if she wins, it'll be equally, if not more, impressive and gigantic for Andrade, not just for winning the belt, not just for winning it in her home country, but winning it in her home country at a time when their leader vehemently hates gay people. And if Andrade wins, 75% of the female belts will be owned by gay women.
Damn, you went deep with that one.
I realized that yesterday as I was thinking of the fight. I was like, well, Amanda's got bantamweight and featherweight. That's two belts.
Yeah.
Valentina's got the other one. Should Andrade wins, 3 of the 4 champions are gay.
Wow, dude. That's amazing. You need to write about that.
Well, let's see how it comes out. Let's see who wins.
Yeah.
I feel you better get on me to write on this one, and I don't want to demand anything of you, but
I
win or
will.
lose, I don't think this is going to be a bad fight, and yeah, it's going to be emotional either way for me. And like I said, it's rare that lately that a fight has that effect on me.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I was like so bummed out. It's been a while. I
Hmm.
gotta think about that later.
Yeah.
Which one bummed me out that I couldn't even get out of bed the next day?
Been a while. I mean, like
Uh-huh.
I was kind of sad when Aldo lost to McGregor, but it was more than anything shocking. I wasn't like, oh my god, this is a terrible day. I wasn't the biggest Aldo fan. I was just sad for him. But it was cool that McGregor won. I didn't really hate him, but it wasn't like this because I like both fighters. There's always a fighter I like more. I guess Condit Lawler was a little bit like that, but Condit was my boy. I wasn't sad if Lawler lost, and it ended up being such a good fight. Like I didn't really care either which way. But as of right now, yeah, it's tough.
Damn, I can't wait.
All right, so we got a lot of dissension on the picks here, so that's good. That's good. So
Yeah, yeah,
that's that's the pay per view this weekend
yeah.
on. Uh huh.
I did watch that. I just watched that Evan Dunham. That's right, huh? He got blasted with that fucking knee, man.
Literally blasted. Like I think if you took like a battering ram, like a police battering ram, and took it to your fucking rib, I think that's exactly how you would react.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Insane. I'm
it's
still
bad.
going with Fajeda, though.
Damn, props, props.
Yeah, man.
If
Just
I
the
was
performance.
Fajita, if I was Fajita, I'd be telling my coaches like, just don't show me that fight. Just tell me everything what to do. Don't show me that fight. I don't need to have that image and that thought in my head, man.
I think that's a sleeper fight, too. It's going to be a war.
It could be, especially on the floor. I mean, Ronaldo's no joke on the floor, but Fajita, obviously, he can fuck up anybody down there too. So it's gonna be interesting. Uh, moving on for moving on from UFC stuff really quick. Bellator is happening also on Saturday. It's gonna be on the Zone, one of their bigger events. Oh, they just had that Rory fight. That was supposed to be a big one, but I think this one's even bigger because Patricio Pitbull is going up in weight and fighting Michael Chandler to avenge his brother's two losses, one of which ended up, him unconscious on the mat. If Pitbull wins this, he will be uh, Ryan Bader's a champ, so he'll be, I guess, the second champ in Bellator history. And Patricio is said by many to be possibly the best fighter in Bellator history. So it's a lot of two of the biggest stars, two of the most accomplished fighters in the division, in the promotion. A lot at stake here. What are your thoughts, Reen? You got a winner, a loser? How do you think it goes out? What do you think of the fight?
Dude, I'm not sure about the fight. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna watch it. But watching like them go back and forth has been quite interesting.
As far as beef goes, I don't think there's been bigger beef in Bellator. I know people talk about maybe like Rampage and King Mo, but
Uh-huh.
I feel like that was kind of like for show. And Rampage kind of like he always has beef with somebody. But yeah, these guys generally seem to hate each other. And then imagine if you're Patricio, man. I know he kind of acted like a dick, but still, this dude knocked the fuck out of your brother. He gave him
Yeah,
a severe concussion, and you were there. He got knocked out 5 feet in front of you.
yeah. Them going back and forth has just been entertaining. So if you guys haven't seen it, just watch it. There's one episode where they're just sitting down with Goldie and they're
Like in a
talking.
boatyard.
Yeah, they're like going back and forth and hashing out old shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't know there's this much drama going on in Bellator.
And when Patricio gets really mad, he speaks pretty good English, but when he gets really mad, he starts talking in Portuguese because he's like, "Fuck this! I can't express all my anger right now, so I'm just gonna talk in Portuguese."
Yeah, just issues about bout agreements and disrespecting his family, and it goes deep, man. So deep, but I don't know if I'll be able to catch it. There's just so much going on this weekend.
Oh, you can always catch it. I'm planning on probably catching it Sunday because I'm definitely gonna watch 237. But any feel for the winner? And not
I don't
sure.
know. I think Chandler's gonna win this one.
I haven't really looked too much into this fight, but just for dissension, I'll go with Patricio. And I really do think he can do it. He is very powerful, and he's looked very good for the past couple of years. And even when he loses, it's usually impressive. And he's had like a few years ago, he had like two or three fights in a row where he got almost knocked out, and every single one of those fights, and he came back in the next round and knocked the other dude dead. So
Yeah, I don't
Chandler's
know.
got power, but I think he can take it.
Yeah. So do you think it'll be like a finish or a decision?
Honestly, I think it's going to be a finish either way.
Yeah.
I'm not counting out Chandler, but I think whoever wins is going to be a finish. I don't think it goes to decision.
Oh, it's gonna be crazy. I
Yeah.
don't know, man. It didn't work out for the winner or the fight that we had, or the UFC had. 145 or moving up to 155 for the belt. So
Yeah, but that was, a guy he's lost to before and a guy who's gotten so much better. I think
yeah,
Patricio and Chandler have been the same. I think they're in their prime, and I think they haven't improved in a good 2 or 3 years. So I think they're as good as they're gonna get. You know, there's a time to do it. It's now.
yeah, interesting.
And co-main, we got I was about to call him Diego Douglas Lima, versus MVP. And man, all I'll say is I hope Douglas Lima fucks his world up.
Dude, we're talking about this off air. Like, just chop them little legs up, man.
It's funny because I don't know. I'm not the biggest Raymond Daniels fan, and we actually had to mention that he had a spectacular knockout. I'm sure all you guys have seen it by now. 720-degree overhand right knockout that left the dude convulsing basically.
God,
But I
oh,
don't know. Raymond Daniels, at least I could say he looks like a nice person, and he's fucking Sage Northcutt's sister. And some part of me, is gleeful about that for some goddamn reason. But MVP is just a dick.
yeah.
And I'm not one of those people that hates him because he broke Cyborg's skull. I mean, shit happens. Still amazing that he did that. But
Goddamn.
just his antics, I'm just not a fan of the showboating every single second after you throw one leg kick and you have to start showboating. I'm just not a fan of that shit.
Dude, good luck with that with Lima.
Yeah, and then I don't know how much weight. I mean, obviously MVP is a big dude. I don't know how much weight he cuts to make 170, but Lima, I mean, he's like at Rumble levels. You know, I think he weighs over 210 pounds when he's not fighting. So that's a gigantic man, and he's got obviously very good leg kicks and punches, and he is not Paul Daly. He can actually wrestle. Like if he wants to take him down, he could.
Hmm.
It's not gonna be some forced ass junior high level wrestling like Paul Daly had. You know.
Yeah, I'm actually more interested in this fight than the main, to
I
be
think that.
honest.
Well, as far as the style matchup, I think so too. I mean, where the stakes are, I think is the main event. But
Yeah.
of how exciting it could be, I mean, I don't think this is gonna turn out like the Daily MVP fight. I think Lima's gonna take it to him.
Do you think we'll see a finish with this one?
No,
No?
no, I
Okay.
think regardless of who wins, I don't think there'll be a finish in this one.
Liam was so dangerous though, man.
Like, I
God.
think he can fuck up his legs. I think he can, maybe even get like a 10-8 round. But I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna finish him. MVP still, he may not have good footwork, but he's good at staying away. So I don't think he's gonna do that much damage.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Dude, he might be 14-1 after Saturday. Is it Saturday, right? Or Friday?
No, Saturday, same night as the
Saturday?
UFC card. Yeah,
Damn, they're going head to head.
basically, yeah. But
Ugh.
one is, well, I guess you have to pay for the zone, but you could pay what, 10, $20 instead
Yeah.
of 65 for the UFC. So interesting, yes, yes. Speaking of Bellator, Aaron Pico just announced that he left AKA and he's going to Jackson Wink. He's gonna fight in June, and he's already moved there. Um, and I think it could be a good move. I don't know. I know Jackson Wink has kind of a hit and miss record right now, but I'm just really concerned that he's fighting so soon. I mean, he got knocked the fuck out in January. He really needs to take some time and chill. But
Oh, that was a vicious knockout too, wasn't
yes,
it?
yes, he got knocked dead. He was out
That's
before he hit
right.
the floor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember now. Okay. Damn, dude. So he only has a month of training with Wink.
Maybe not even that. I think it's only been a few weeks. It may even be like 2 or 3 weeks.
Damn,
Came
dude.
out a few days ago.
And who's he fighting? Do you know?
They haven't announced it yet. That's the even weirder part. I
What?
mean, I guess they're just looking for some can. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's like, well, but
Oh.
Jesus, I mean, you're a month out. You should know something.
Oh, okay. It's gonna be one of those, right? They're just gonna give him a gimme fight.
I certainly hope so. I mean, if he's gonna fight, don't have him fight a fucking top contender like Corrales again, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think he'll be fine even with this transition then.
He really needs to be careful though, man, because if it's a guy that can even remotely hit with some kind of accuracy or some kind of power, he could go out again because that's not something you recover from in 4 or 5 months.
Yeah. Dude, good luck with him at week.
Yeah, who
Good luck with
knows?
him.
I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully, at the very least, I know that he's not going to be sparring hard down there. At least, definitely not as hard as AKA. So maybe that was a good reason to leave. But yeah, just really no telling.
He's gonna be training with those moms that come into the classrooms.
Like Michelle Watterson.
No man, just remember when Cowboy was saying like the whole like fighters train with other.
Oh, because they can just train with whoever, just some.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not really private.
I, I, I mean, I believe Cowboy with all that shit, but well, we'll see. Pico's young. I
Yeah,
mean, that means that he can be impressionable, but that also means that he doesn't really have a lot of loyalty, and he could just keep jumping around. He could go the fucking Alistair Overeem route, you know?
yeah.
Get a new trainer every fucking 3 months.
Damn, dude, that's insane.
Yeah, but good he's doing it now. You don't want to go that Connor route, you know. Well, he ended up leaving SPG, but we don't even know what's happening with him anymore. So
Damn, why didn't you just go to American Top Team?
Connor or
No,
Pico,
Pico, man.
probably too
I,
far.
oh
I don't know
fuck
where
that.
he's from originally, but I mean, obviously he's been training in California, so I guess that's my only guess. I don't know.
Sorry, I'm shitting on Wink Jackson's Wink. It's
No,
just
no, and Top Team's a great team, but I no, I really don't know. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, I don't know, just to go from AKA to Jackson's Wing,
or
it just
just
seems like a step down to
or just
me.
prestige. You know, Jackson still has that name, so it's like, well, John Jones trains there. What else do you need? You know, some people, that's all it takes is some people. John Jones, Holly Holm. You know, there's still good guys there, and that's all it takes sometimes.
Can't control John Jones, and Holly Holm couldn't even keep the belt. So if he wants to train out there, then good luck to you.
Holly Holm's coming for that belt, man. That's another one. That's gonna be another one. Although I have critiqued Holly Holm, I will say that I love Nunes too, and I know you have different feelings about Holm, but I would not
God,
be sad at all if Holm beats Nunes.
God, so many opportunities for that woman.
I know, but if she capitalizes, the thing about Holm is that every fight is like, oh, she's just another could be, but it's also if she wins this fight, she might be the greatest female fighter ever. It's the weirdest fucking thing with her, man. One win with over Ronda will do that shit to you. It's fucking
Yeah,
odd, so odd. But I guess that enigma about her intrigues me to Holly Holm. Plus, you know, I like the white girls with
the big old booty.
yeah. But moving on. speaking of speaking of women, Cynthia Calvillo, well, former hometown girl, Reen, she's leaving Team Alpha Male, or I'm sorry, they've changed their name. We'd mentioned it before. What the fuck is the name? And I don't even remember. I,
Alpha male MMA or something? I forget.
yeah, Alpha something. Anyway, she's leaving, and she said that the big reason is because Justin Buchholz is no longer the head coach. And I know Justin Buchholz is doing pretty good. I know that's the reason that Cody was able to beat Dominic. So I mean, I get her reasons, but she said she'd been planning to leave for a long time. Well, ever since her win over Courtney. So I don't know. It didn't seem like she said of where she's going.
No,
She still wants Buckles in her corner. I just know that.
yeah, she hasn't decided where because I guess Justin's getting some offers here and there. Um, so it just depends on where he lands, I guess.
If you need a coach, get that dude, man. Buckles, I always liked as a fighter. He was like an animal of a fighter, but he kind of seems to be going that Dwayne Ludwig route. Hopefully, minus the EPO, of just that he was kind of a brawling wild fighter, but he's very technical in his coaching advice, and I think Calvillo can learn from him. My
Yeah,
apologies.
yeah. So she's still living in Sacramento until she gets all that figured out. But yeah, I guess she was offered the fight with Claudia. So, but Claudia instead took the fight with Ronda Marcos.
Yeah, that's the fight we mentioned last week, right? At 239, I believe. The
Yeah,
international week. Yeah.
yeah. So she's just like, she's talking to Ariel about it. Like, why would she do that? Why would she take the fight with Ronda? She kept on repeating. I was just screaming at the iPad, and it's like because she needs a fucking win. Like she's
Yeah.
on his skin right now. So to be honest, fighting you is a little dangerous. You know, I mean that you're a tough chick, man. So hats off to you. But she don't want that smoke. But
I'm not
Ronda
even.
could
No,
surprise us again too, though.
I'm not even gonna say anything because yeah, I mean no, and I'm not even counting as we said last week. That's such a weird fight. It could really
Hmm.
go either way because they're both in a weird spot. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, she needs that win. So, but I guess there might be a fight up here, Sacramento in July. So she's waiting on that to see what's going on. But it's May already, so I mean, I hope they announce something soon if we are gonna have a fight up here.
Yeah, yeah. And speaking of announcing fights, we got a few new matchups. Gilbert Melendez, speaking of NorCal, is back, and he's gonna fight Arnold Allen at International Fight Week at UFC 239. Um, Gilbert hasn't fought since Jeremy Stevens fucked his leg up. What, 2 years ago now? Um, I I don't even know what to say. I mean, Arnold Allen, he's a decent, he's a young kid. He's a good fighter, but I don't know if I really don't have any idea with this matchup. Like, I don't know if it's gonna be good, bad, if Melendez should win, if he's done. I really don't know.
It just seems like he's just fighting to fight and just giving these new guys a light, a shine, a rub off or something. I don't know. I don't get it. Like we're seeing a lot of this. It seems like the old school guys are they're fighting the young bucks.
Yeah, I think you and I came into the sport more or less around the same time. So I think the guys that we're seeing now getting these type of gatekeeper type fights. It's like it's kind of a weird realization. Like, oh shit, they're no longer the guys that I grew up watching. You know?
Yeah. I mean, and Melendez, he doesn't really need a fight, but hey, man. Okay. I hope they're paying him well.
Maybe Carrie's fucking, you know, out there. Like, you better get a fucking fight.
They got a gym. They got that spot on ESPN still, right?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he
And then,
does those like breakdowns with Dominic Cruz. They always do them like the week of the fight.
yeah,
I just saw one earlier.
yeah. So, I mean, hurt for money. Damn, dude. So, yeah. Hopefully it works out well for him. He doesn't get hurt too much, but or wins. But doesn't make sense, really.
And another fight that just got announced, which I know we're psyched for. Seems like the whole community is, but especially us. Yoel Romero versus Borachina is scheduled for 241, which is the Anaheim card, which I am planning to go to, and we're trying to get Reen to come down here for that too, which could, mean some extra coverage for you guys. But
Hell yeah. Hell
this
yeah.
is the this is the fourth time that it gets booked, and I don't know. It feels. I saw someone mention like this is like the Khabib Ferguson of middleweight. Like it just everyone wants to see it. Everyone keeps asking for it, and they don't make it.
Dude, I'll be sad if I go down there and this fight gets scrapped.
We're saying off air too. It's like obviously they can both fall out, but I think for as good insurance, especially since it's happened so much, Dana needs to book another middleweight fight between some good contenders like Jack Hermanson and Chris Weidman. Guys like that, like have some good dudes in there. If Yoel drops out, well, there you go. You got Weidman, Costa. If, you know, Costa drops out, well, then you got Yoel and Hermanson or whatever. But pay some dudes extra because people really want to see it. And I think at this point, Yoel and Costa, by the time the fight happens, it'll be a year since they both fought. So at that point, although we all want to see the fight, like just have them fight somebody, man. Don't let that be the only middleweight fight, and then someone drops out, and then the fucking shit's done.
Yeah, seriously. Better have like a contingency plan in place, man, because damn, dude, that wouldn't be cool at all.
Either like it's Aldo McGregor, and you have like 3 fucking backup fights just in case.
Yeah, for real. Or like I was saying off air, I'm like, just have a fucking bodybuilding competition or something.
Just get a random bodybuilder off the crowd. There's gonna be at least one.
Yeah, just have them out there start posing or something. I don't know.
Get Nowitzki out there. Hey, just fucking PUE on the spot. There you go. Don't ask
Right?
any questions.
Something. Damn it. Make one of them like sign extra autographs or some shit or man, please, nothing happen.
Last bit of MMA news. Well, it's not even really MMA news. It's wrestling news. But your boy Askren got thoroughly embarrassed by Jordan Burroughs in a wrestling match last
Man,
week.
my boy.
He ain't mine.
He ain't mine anymore either because he's talking about Cuban Jesus.
Yeah, but I mean, he was bound to do that. He did that before he even got signed to the UFC.
Yeah.
He's gonna get his comeuppance.
Yeah. Well, he had no business going in there with the world beater like Jordan. I mean, he
He has
hasn't wrestled in like 9 years.
he has such an interesting style, man. It's an interesting style, but he's also just a stud. He's just a fucking freak athlete. He's so powerful and so fast, so dynamic, but just really, really good technique on top of that. It's like, dude, how can you beat that?
Yeah. Crazy. So funky Ben Askren was having a good time. So
You know
yeah.
what? I didn't bother to look up. Do you know how old he is? Because I know Dana and a lot of people are like, "Oh, I want to see him in the UFC," but I don't think he's that young. I think he's like
He's 30.
31. Oh, he's 30. Okay,
Yeah.
so, but still, it's gonna be a big mountain to climb at this point if he wants to actually make it.
Man, if he's making money, if he's doing really well in wrestling, might as well just stick with it instead of getting punched in the face.
He's basically the only wrestler that makes money too. So I mean, you
Yeah.
definitely have a market. I mean, it was like in a little arena, right? And it was packed for this match.
Yeah.
Really,
It sounds
people were obviously there for Askren, but a lot of people had to be there for Jordan too.
yeah, I guess it was packed or something. Like they've never seen it so filled up before like that. So I mean,
Yeah,
good for Ben, sacrificing his legacy, I guess.
yeah,
Going down and find a monster like Jordan Burroughs and just packing the house and just putting wrestling on the mark for at least a night, a Monday night, actually.
yeah. He may not have a lot of respect for fighters or even MMA, but he definitely respects wrestling, and at least for that, I can kind of respect him. Like, all right, he doesn't forget where he came from, you know.
Yeah. So that was cool, man. And then they're like back and forth banter after the match. So
Yeah,
it was fun to watch. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's on YouTube.
yep. All right, so done with MMA. We're gonna get into our news story of the week. And the headline is Boston police officer fired after strippers allegedly stole his gun. So this bright individual went to a strip club and for some reason started talking to one of them. And one of the girls said she needed a charger for her phone. And he said, "You can get one from my car." And this dumbass, gave his keys to his car and he happened to have a gun in the glove compartment. And he wasn't keeping an eye out. And when he looked, the glove compartment was open and the girl was gone and they took his gun. You can
So
fill in the details here, Reen. It's just that's the gist of it.
so he basically after being at the strip club or whatever, they end up at this hotel room because they're about to have threesome, right, or something. So she goes out, she forgot something, whatever. She needs to get back in the car, and she just bails with the goddamn gun, pretty much, right?
That's about it.
Like this fool wasn't even thinking, just hands the keys over because he's just thinking about getting laid.
Hmm. Yeah, that's how stupid men are.
Come on, man.
But dude, if you're, I'm not really one of them, and I try not to hate on cops just to hate on them because I think that's kind of dumb. But I think at the very least, if you're a police officer, you should be a pretty logical individual. You don't even have to be smart, but you gotta have some common sense. This dude saw pussy and he fucking just went all marked out. Broke my cardinal sin. He marked out to the fullest. This is what happens when you mark out. You lose your fucking job. And he's very lucky he couldn't got shot because there's pictures of these girls and they don't exactly look like classy girls. I would not have been surprised at all if they shot him or
Oh
mugged
no,
him.
oh no, he definitely did not go to a high end strip club. No.
He's very lucky he did not get mugged, shot. Well, he may have herpes, but that's a different story.
Oh man, he's 24 years old, so yeah,
Uh,
definitely not thinking with the right head.
yeah, maybe we shouldn't hire 24-year-olds as police officers. I'm sorry to any young men who are aspiring police officers, but I think that's a good. I mean, your brain doesn't even fully develop till like 25, so yeah, let's go with like 25 or 26 just to be sure, you know.
God, Jesus, man. What the? If you're not on the job, just leave it at home. It's not worth getting hurt.
Well, and I mean, I guess you could say he maybe quote unquote did the right thing of he didn't have it on his person. He had it
Yeah,
in the car locked, well, presumably. But
true
who the
that.
fuck who gives their car keys to a stranger? He's like he didn't get his car jacked either.
Right? Like, seriously. What are you thinking, man?
Yeah. And then one of them ended up being a prostitute, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they had a whole sting operation with that strip club, so it's like, dude,
The other cops recognized her and was like, "Oh yeah, this we've been following her."
like, the fuck are you doing with that girl? She's no good. You
But
don't know what else she got.
but he thought it was gonna feel so good, and now it burns when he pees.
Dude, that's what you get for being stupid. Now you're out with the job. Like,
For marking out.
yeah, now what are you gonna do? Work at the library?
I don't know why that made me laugh. It's just such a weird image. Former police officer got fired for getting with whores, and now I'm a librarian.
Seriously, like I think Boston's a place where you know everybody, right? Everybody knows you.
I mean, I guess it's somewhat small, but still, I mean, they're rugged ass people out there.
Man, then you better hide out in a fucking library.
Man, I can only imagine if he sees any of those cops again, how much they fucking ridiculed them, man.
Right?
At the end of it. If they're good cops, they should have done it. None of this have each other's back shit. You make fun of that dude till he considers fucking taking his own life.
God, man. A stripper fucking like robbed you.
Yep.
You don't even know how to read, girls. None of that.
I'm sure they're paying their way through college. Allegedly.
Sure, their mugshots. Yep, they sure do look like they're going to college.
They clean up well. You don't know.
It was bad lighting. They had no filter.
Yeah. Give them one of those. Put them on Instagram, and I'm sure they look better.
Right.
Yep.
Photoshop.
Yeah, but that's gonna do it for us tonight. I want to thank everybody for listening, for joining us. Reen, where can they find you at?
Fox with you at Instagram and Twitter.
And you can find me at juice_MMA. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram as well. You can find the podcast at iFoxWithJuice on Twitter and Instagram as well. Be sure to like, rate, subscribe, share anywhere that you listen to us, because we're basically everywhere: Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, iTunes, Podcast Republic, all that shit. You guys know where to find us. But once again, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you guys next week. Later.
Yeah.